that people think that it's a free versus paid, that it'd be 100% free or 100% paid. But in fact, that's not what really anybody's considering. What they're considering is free versus freemium. Freemium being free plus premium. And the question is, I think freemium is really, as the advertising market stumbles, I think freemium's the really interesting market, and all the interesting business models are coming out of this. And that's actually what the book is mostly about. And the question is, if you're a newspaper, what's free and what's premium? It's not necessarily what you might have guessed. What they find is that take the most popular content, that should be free. The most popular content is you use free again to get the largest possible audience. So they give away their front page, and to get that audience. Also the exclusives. Now you would think that exclusives are exactly the thing you should charge for, but it turns out that's not the case. If you let's say the tragic Michael Jackson death, TMZ, a site in the U.S., was the first to report it. If TMZ had said you have to pay to get this news, every other media organization in the world would report on TMZ's report. So one person would pay that fee, and they would say, and then they would write an article say TMZ exclusively reports that Michael Jackson is dead, and then everyone else reporting on the news would get the traffic. So you have to make your exclusives free, or else other people will monetize it. Then the interesting thing is that so what do you charge for? It turns out that the things you can't charge for are the niche stuff. That's real subject matter specialty. So you sort of give away, to reference back my old book, you give away the head, the most popular stuff, and you sell the tail. You give away the popular stuff, and then you sell like the commodities trading data, or whatever the FT and the Economist might do the same. You sell the stuff that's really specific to people's direct needs and maybe their professional interests, and they become price insensitive. So and the narrower the niche, the better. The more you can monetize it. So I think that's kind of the future. I think the future is that all of us have got to figure out what our freemium strategy is. We've been sort of saying, well, you can pay for the print edition and give away the web, and now we have to sort of slice more finely. We have to find out, well, okay, what's the free product? What's the $5 product? What's the $10 product? What's the $25 product? What's the $125 product? And figure out how to package these things so that some fraction of the audience will pay possibly more than we're paying before. But that audience is identified by casting the broadest possible net with free and then offering them tempting upgrades. So the best examples, gosh, can you read that? The best examples are in the games world. And I realize that games may feel very trivial to you and as kid stuff, but I would encourage you all to look at what's going on in games. There have been, in the last decade, 3 industries that have gone from the silver disc business, well, basically where the silver disc has gone away. Now we know what happened to the music industry. The silver disc went away. We then saw what happened to packaged software. There was once a time you could go to a store and buy packaged software in boxes, and now it's by and large downloaded. And then another form, and then finally this other form of packaged goods, the video game. Today, most people buy video games in stores, in boxes. But starting in Korea and China, it started to move online. And you see it in the massively multiplayer online games, etc. World of Warcraft, Lineage, things like that. And as it moved online, it tended to adopt the free-to-play model. And this is now the future of the games industry. And what's interesting about free-to-play is that it's almost invariably freemium, which is to say, most people play for free, but some pay. So for example, Second Life is not quite a game, but to use that analogy, you can play Second Life for free. But if you want to really build a house and put down roots and start spending some time there, you have to buy some land. So they're in the real estate business, the virtual real estate business. My kids play something called RuneScape, which is based here in the UK. RuneScape is free to play, but if you want to get to these better lands, you've got to pay. This picture here is from a Korean game called MapleStory, which went global, and it's really fascinating. What we've learned from this is how to get people to pay without making it punitive. What you want to avoid is this 2-tier world where there's the paid people who are superior to the free people. You don't want to make a world where you can buy this super weapon where you can destroy everybody else. Instead, there's 2 ways to earn that super weapon. You can pay for it, or you can earn it with your labors. And so what we end up with is finding is that it comes back to some really kind of basic principles. What do people value? Well, time is money. So one thing you can charge for is time-saving devices. So in MapleStory, when you die, you, as a free member, you are respawned at some spawn point, and you have to trudge back through the worlds to get where you were. If, however, you bought a reincarnation stone, you're respawned right where you were. if you can buy to, when you want to switch to a different world, you have to wait for the bus if you're free, or you can buy a teleportation stone and get there instantaneously. People will also pay for to lower the risk, as in Second Life, to lower the risk of losing all your progress. They will pay for status. Does anyone in the room know? I've heard of Club Penguin. Any heard of Club Penguin? Any of your kids? Have any of your kids asked you to pay for Club Penguin? Yeah. They want a pet for their penguin. Yeah, exactly. So that's a classic freemium model. Club Penguin is free to play, but within Club Penguin, if you want a better experience, if you want status, if you want a pet for your penguin, a better igloo, better hair, etc., you'll pay for it. And the psychology of getting children, it's about 80% free and 20% paid. The psychology of getting children to be engaged enough in the game that suddenly they're like, whoa, I want to have what she has. Dad, can I have your credit card? Is freemium at work. And I think it's fascinating. Every game is different. And what we're seeing in the iPhone market, which has switched from mostly paid or free to freemium, where you have a free and a paid version, is also fascinating to watch. And I would encourage you to look at what's going on there and see how companies figure out what's my free version and what's my paid version.